Today, as usually done, getting over a little bit of a cold. The overactive forward-facing mucus maker is still a little clogged up due to its overactivity. So, I got an Epson Powerlight 460 ultra short throw projector. Has one of those funny lenses. Not quite a cylindrical lens, not quite an spherical lens. It's one of those mutant child kind of things. Or at least that's what I think it is. Has some kind of alignment problem or something, or so claims to have. And this guy right here, when we can see him, shows all the disapproval of the situation. Oh, plug it in. See what's going on. See what my body fixes first. Itself or the projector. Power. Oh. Turn off the light here. We got an image. Epson. Right. Oh. I'm being upside down. Doesn't look too bad. Oh, what's going on? The focus seems to have vanished. A little weird. Can't quite read it anymore. Does seem to be a little bit of an alignment issue. Huh. See if we can see what it says with the lens. So I'm using a very low power positive meniscus lens to get the focus back a little bit, see what I can get. Yeah, still not very much. I mean, I can kind of read it, but kind of not read it. But kind of read it. It does look like it is a... Oh, there it goes. That's really clear. Oh. Why, she didn't like to be in focus very well, does it? I can focus a laser, but I can't focus a screen. Like one side gets a nice focus. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's move down. Move the camera. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here with that lens, you can kind of see the focus a little bit more. We can ignore these lines because they're made by the lens that's in the front. So let's see if we can see what's on that menu. No real discernible image still. Looks a little dusty in there. It's all digital too. Did we get any focus? Yeah, there's something goofy in there. It's not focusing properly at all. Okay, here's the projector. Got her cover off, she's pressed up against the wall. Read the user manual, found out there's a focus here right by the air vents. So, played around with that a little bit, and we got an image. It was really out of focus before. Press that down, get a little bit clearer of an image. You can see right here on the upside down video output that the image is clear, and as it gets over to the right, it gets progressively more blurry. So I'm thinking that somewhere in this there's going to be a mirror or some other kind of optic that's going to be flipped or shuffled this way that probably fell out of alignment. And we can even see on the inside of the case where there's some cracking right here. So I'm guessing there's going to be an impact related type of misalignment, which is resulting in that problem. So I'm going to open this up back in the shop. We're going to take a look inside, see if there's any kind of optic like that that fits the problem, and go on from there. But it's nice to get an idea of everything that's going on. As I said, now that we got an image, we can focus it a little bit and diagnose it and see what we can do about that blurriness. Doesn't look like any of the LCDs are actually out of alignment. It looks like it's going to be a problem after the three-way LCD assembly and focusing. Time to go a little deeper into the ability of the beast. I've not been in a ultra short throw projector, so it's going to be an interesting learning experience for me. That's okay. I'll just take it like, you know, NASA. I know a lot about projectors, and I know a lot about optics, and whatever is in here that I don't know, we'll just treat like dark matter and dark energy, and we'll just not talk about that too much and explain what I do know in the process. Hopefully I'll know enough to figure out exactly everything on the inside. Ooh, little clips inside there. Let's see, I need a little flathead, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay. There's 4 little clips after those 2 screws, it looks like. And this assembly just comes off. There's a protective piece of glass there on the top. Not part of the functional optical assembly. Let's see. Boy, that should come off a little easier. Is that part of the focus assembly? Might be. It is lodged in here. Well, that's not going to make my job easy now, is it? Oh yeah, that is all one piece. I lied. Okay, you know what? There's still got to be a way inside of this. We're going to need to find a smaller screwdriver and get to those, I believe. Come on. Oh, those are put on very well. That didn't go as planned, now did it? You know the rules. Nothing can be easy. Oh boy. Got one. Let's try the last one here. Oh, that would have been a lot easier on a stationary surface. Cool. Got that piece detached. Oh, that hooks into there. Now can we remove this? Yeah, yes we can. Ta-da! And we're in. Okay. I was kind of right and kind of wrong here. but I think I know what some of the issue may be. No rest for the willing. Taking a break from that goddamn old school projector. Helping my friend here build this speaker box, man. What you think about it so far?
It's nice.
I think it's gonna come together real well. It's a good evening project. It's going together quick though.
Hell yeah.
And now back to our regularly scheduled projector. So, there's basically two parts in this assembly. First, the focus assembly here. There's no zoom feature on this, so it's a pretty basic lens. I want to point out the lens on the front here. So this is that funny lens that I was talking about, which is has characteristics of both a spherical lens and a cylindrical lens. So the way this works is the image coming from here, I believe, is upside down. So this would be your lower portion of the image, and a lot of this is made where it's going to spread out the light even more on the bottom. You want to get that width right away because you need it to be wide, and then it acts more like a short throw, and then towards the top you get less focus, and the more focus, less focus, more focus. You get more focus because you want that image to be more narrow as it goes up towards the top, because you have to make adjustments to the angle because of the way the image is projected against the wall. So the image is kind of bent because of the way the projector works, and on the other side in here there is a large parabolic mirror. I can't really kind of see it that way. Let me get a better angle on that. Here on this side you can see the parabolic dish, which is a mirror. There's a first surface mirror on the inside, and you can see the same kind of lens style of effect here, where this is a lot less focused on the bottom, where it would be projecting out the bottom of the screen. Remember, it's kind of an upside down image when it first comes out, and there'll be a cross section point right in the middle, virtually. You can see that with the cover glass on too. It's kind of a deformed shape on the outside of the projector. And of course on the inside you'll see that the image gets a little smaller, so there's more of a lensing effect in that area. But all of this is essentially just a first surface mirror, and it really does go really deep inside. So there's quite a area of curvature for that in there. The projector up around this area on the case has a crack, so I'm thinking that there could be an alignment issue with this parabolic lens, parabolic mirror. We can also put some pressure on this, and it does in fact move really freely in there. So I'm able to put my finger in there, get quite a bit of movement, which is disconcerting. So any kind of deformation or disfocus between that funny lens and this parabolic mirror is going to cause image malformation when it's projected up against the screen. Now, the lens I'd like to pull out, but we can kind of see what the optical path looks between the lens and the parabolic mirror with a little bit of fog, and using a couple of other techniques to see if the problem is between this or if it's in the actual focus assembly itself or the three-way LCD. Let's check out how that looks. With the projector on, I'm going to be using a dark piece of material to inspect what the image looks like coming off that lens. There's going to be some deformation just because of the angle and style of lens, which is why I want to take it off, but we'll see how clearly it looks. And of course I'm using a dark piece of coated metal because that beam can be pretty hot as well. So you get there for an image. So yeah, right about there, we're getting a nice clean focus point, so you can get in a little bit better of a image for you. But yeah, that's pretty clean. Let's bring up the menu. And at this point, I'm just kind of looking for something that we can't get into focus. Another thing I use is this material from a pulled LCD. You can also, I mean, it's mostly permissive to light. It's a diffuser, so it doesn't reflect a lot of light back up, and you can often get a pretty good clear image off that as well without too much light being beamed up towards your eyeballs. And it looks like I can get actually pretty good focus out of everything. It looks like the image, I'm going to use the bottom here for a reference, looks like the image might be a little off canter inside that assembly. I really want to remove that one lens on the front. But it looks like everything is pretty much in line. So, I'm thinking the problem, a little bit of the problem might be here, but I don't know. I really think it's in the parabolic assembly itself. Let's see if I can get some good video on how the optics look, or the light pathway, and kind of play around with the menu, get some varying color in there a little bit on this blue. I don't know how well it's going to work. I'm going to use some fog for this. You can see the focal point right about here in this area, and that's the point where the image is flipped back up to the original right side up ways. See, a little bit more of that. And there's another style that uses a cone type of reflector, and that's situated in the optical path. Kind of like this on some of the other projectors. And how that one works is it takes and it uses the bottom portion as the upper area. So it takes and because it's less focused, it doesn't spread it out as much. So that goes up to the top, and then the lower portion right here, because it's more focused, will widen it quicker. So it'll go out wider on the bottom quicker than it would on the top. And that's how those newer short throw projectors work. This is an older one. I think it's anywhere from between 2009 and 2011, so about 10 years old. Yeah, decided to get into it a little bit more. Took that lens off. I'm going to use this little first surface mirror and move it around. So that right there is the inside of where the three-way LCD is. A lot of those internal refractive patterns coming off when you shine light on those three-way LCD matrices. They have this rainbow pattern effect. Getting that one lens off was an absolute pain. Let's take a look at it. So here's the back side of that lens. And we can see the spherical lens properties here. On this side a little bit more, which is the bottom, which has more of a curvature on it. And here we have a weird deflected angles where it's more of a cylindrical lens near the top. So, hey, let's learn something today. Okay, so a cylindrical lens is like a cylinder, only affects light in one axis. So right here, it's a cylindrical lens because it only has curvature going in one axis. Unlike a spherical lens, which is like a magnifying glass, most common one, like this, because the curvature is the same. So you got something called an aspherical lens, which has a weird curvature like this. So you can see the curvature isn't perfectly round, has some kind of counter curvature to it. So there's a difference. Cylindrical, spherical, aspherical. Learn something. I'm gonna get this put back into place. I popped it apart, and it's still questionable whether it's in here or in here. But this optical train looks like it's perfectly fine. Oh, this is gonna be a fun procedure. Well, wish me luck. We'll get back to that after that operation. If you look in the corner there, you'll see that there's a little bolt that mirror rests on. So I'm thinking that maybe I can get in there and turn that with something. I also noticed up here the back of this bolt, and I used the Dremel to cut a notch in. So I'm hoping that I can use a flathead now to get in there and adjust that one from the back, which it looks like I should be able to do. So that's some clever thinking there. Let's give it a try. To the untrained eye, the trier looks like a professional. I really wasn't intending to pull this apart, especially before I tried that parabolic mirror alignment trick thing. I'm glad I did though. Check this out. If you've ever dealt with projectors, that should be a stationary piece. 100%. Boy, I'm glad I did not move the entire projector around, did I? Oh, gee willikers, Batman. Oh, that got bumped hard. You may pull the whole thing out or not. Let's see if it's trapped. Huh. Well, we're in here this far. You know what? I'm gonna put the camera on just the record mode, and we're just gonna get into that. Now that if we have identified the problem, this being that there's a screwdriver right in the middle of the way. Well, I'll get rid of that in a minute. Here we go. Okay. I love finding the problem. Make sure that stays where it is. Yeah, what is blocking that from coming up right now? Is it the whole assembly in the front? Oh man, I don't know. Okay, find out. Got 2 screws here in the front to do. And that looks like that thing should come forward. Yeah. I should have just shaken this thing violently before doing anything else. I would have found the problem real quick, right? Okay. Oh, it's glued to the base still. I gotta pull the glue off. Alright. Clear right off the base it came. Well. I see. That's gonna get a little interesting. You know, I'm betting I could just use a little bit of decent super glue to fix that. Reasonably high temp stuff. Oh. And the blue is shattered here. Woof. Alright, so there's a little polarizer right here that is cracked. Sorry, that was in the way. Yeah, get a good look on that. Yeah, that's cracked. This thing took a dive. I decided to get ambitious. I know what the problem is. Why not fix it while I'm here, right? So I decided to do that, and right now I just got it in, got it mostly lined up. It looks really good. So, like every situation that I do, any kind of gluing of optics, I'm going to do the same procedural thing where I am going to just make sure that there's air going through that system, and that way there's no fumes or anything else building up on those surfaces. So I'm going to find myself some things to hold the little, for lack of a better word, ZIF LVDS kind of connectors down. So that way they don't get in the way of the fan. I'm going to put a fan on top of those to get some circulation going. And we'll come back to that, see how well the alignment is after those glues have set. Hopefully the projector will be done at that rate, and everything will be good. Hopefully. Famous size words, right? Got the projector plugged in now. Gonna see if it works. After gluing the component down, 3-way LCD cube, I think that's gonna take care of a lot of the problems. It's gonna be a little bit of a warm up here, and we can all wait with anticipation. Oh, nice. Very nice. A little yellow, but oh, that's much whiter. Good projector. Make sure that die. Colors look good, stable. That's readable. Nice. Very nice. Go ahead and bring up some of the menus. Oh, that's legible. Can't say anything bad about that. Well, unexpected job well done. Stay tuned for more.